What?
Call the meeting to order.
I did. I'm calling St. John Waterworks Board meeting to order. Would you please take roll?
Nick Furtek.
Present.
Bill Manasopoulos.
Present.
Ken Gambala.
Present.
Wayne Pondinas.
Present.
Chris Salatis is absent.
Okay, ready? The first item on the agenda is election of officers. We have president and vice president. And I'd entertain a motion for nomination for the office of president for the Waterworks.
I'd like to make a motion for Ken Gambala to be reappointed to president of the Waterworks.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. I'll close nominations. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Aye, motion carried. Next is the office of vice president for the Waterworks. I'll pass the gavel and nominate Bill for vice president. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, I'll take the gavel back. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Aye, motion carried. We have the December 21st regular meeting in front of us. Is there any corrections or additions to that? Hearing none, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as posted. Do you have anything, Bill?
I'm just looking real quick.
Okay, well, hold on a minute.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the December 21st, 2021 as presented.
I'll second that.
Second, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried, then it's approved. All right. The next item on the agenda that we have is the consideration for the Peerless Midwest quote for construction of well 9. I believe that's for the test well. Right, well, Wayne, the way I read it?
Right,
Test well
that
for
8,000 of that is for the item permits. So I don't know if you want to vote for that. You do have a piece of paper in front of you with the lots in a circle.
You have that, I think we only maybe have one.
Can you go?
Got one of these?
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah, go on.
The problem is, as Wayne was pointing out, is that we have to have that area with around the well by state requirements in IBRM. Unfortunately, it's going into part of the rear of three residential lots. Obviously, that's not going to, we're not going to be able to attain that.
It's unknown whether or not there's any buried pipe or anything underneath there. And if somebody buys any one of those 3 lots, that they might not be able to put a shed or any structure in that circle that you see. So,
You almost have to acquire an easement, and that's not, that's.
right, that is part of easement, but it's in those people's property. So, I don't know if it's wise to get the permit and then find out, item says, well, we can't do that. I think you lost your $8,000 for your permit.
So in the
I'm not certain if they'll would give it back to you.
I understand that. So in the same sense, if we're not approving the 8,000 for a permit, they wouldn't be able to drill without a permit, right?
Well, yeah, you need a permit to drill. So
So
it's maybe a catch-22.
do we have any idea of how long it would take them to approve this?
It'd probably take a couple of months, 2 to 3 months, I think, to get everything going and get that well company in there to drill that.
So item, we're expecting a couple months for them to
Yeah,
either
you need the
approve it or
permit.
disapprove it?
So I mean, maybe you guys, Kenny, you can send that to item and let them look at that and see, because it goes in the center line of the street too.
We have to, we apparently have to pay the entire 8,000 for the application for a permit and then get denied.
Yeah, I think, yeah, you could lose that 8,000, I think.
Can we, okay, maybe a different question. Can we send it in for approval without paying the 8,000?
I think that would be well worth it, or ask item and say, hey, can we do this?
Okay.
You see what we have.
Right.
But you look at well 8 on the other part of that. Well 8 is, the circle is all inside the property. You know, it doesn't infringe on any other property, so,
I would suggest we table this.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ken.
What Haas is going to have to find out what the options are.
right, and the well company, they want to drill, and I said, well, we can expedite it, but then you see that, and that's a question, because if you'll lose, and, that's $8,000 that you don't want to lose.
Okay.
maybe a simple question, the item, even the engineer might, there was questions, I think, that they said if there's anything in that white area, in that red, where,
Yeah.
underneath the red line, that could cause a problem. They say that, absolutely not. Or are you gonna move what's ever underneath there? So,
So I'm gonna make a motion to table this in its entirety, pending an answer we get for an item and the engineers on if we can move along with it without paying the permit fee, and if they're going to approve it, and find out what a timeline is to approve it. Motion's made to table.
All right, did you hear the motion?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to table until there's more, research is done into the possibility of getting a permit for this without the expenditure of $8,000, which we may lose. So, all in favor signify by aye.
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 Aye, motion carried. Are you gonna, Wayne, you gonna handle that with Haas? or-
yeah, you know what, I'll call them up, and we had a meeting just a couple of days ago, when it gets down, well, I'll talk about it now. They got water main projects lined up for bid. I think it was gonna go up to like $2 million, all total, but different projects. So you'll get that soon, but I can ask them, I'll call them.
Yeah.
They seem to see, okay, but my question is, are you gonna lose that 8,000? You don't wanna do that? And then have to put another 8,000, yeah.
No.
Because if they don't okay that, then there's some problems with renegotiating, I guess.
All right, the next item on the agenda is the Senator Dalton Professional Services Agreement for 2022. I know the town manager's not here, but I see it's already been executed. I don't know why it's even on the agenda. I mean, what are we going to do?
So I'm going to ask for discussion on this and possible action on that item. I don't know about you, Ken, if you received any information on this when it was looked at, prices, comparisons with the other company, Baker Tilly, that we've been using for our bond and all our other water issues. I looked up, and according to some research, state code, and I'll make a copy of that for you guys, states that this board, this voting body, is to vote and approve all professional services that have to do with this utility. So at this point, and unfortunately the town manager's not here, and if we have to change it again at the next meeting, I want to amend this, item B, saying consideration for Senator Dalton and Baker Tilly for the service agreement for 2022. So that's my motion.
Yeah, just a comment, maybe that could be done at the December meeting, and so it's in effect for the next year, but I agree that we should at least have it for consideration. We've already into a contract, which I don't know
That
if we have
contract
any
was-
options now.
The contract wasn't, unless, again, it was brought up to you guys, it wasn't brought up to me. Nick, did you hear anything?
No.
Any input? Anything?
No, I agree with your thing. I agree with that.
So I'm gonna make a motion again to amend it for Senator and Dalton and Baker Tilly for consideration for the service agreement for 2022. And I'm looking for a second.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second, we'll vote on it. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Aye, motion carried. Okay. Reports and correspondence, we already mentioned a few projects, so we have that list that we had a few meetings ago on all the water main replacements and everything. You should have that, and I suppose we're moving along on some of those with spring around the corner that are going out for bids. So we'll be looking at those as they come across. Is any part of well number 8 on there too? I don't recall.
Pardon?
Is part of well number 8 on that list?
Well, yeah, that,
Well,
it'll be on that, what we talked about, well 8, well 9, but the problem is, as you've seen with the red, the circle, the radius,
Yeah, but that's,
they need to clarify that, and like you guys said, before you spend any money, for permits, maybe wait. I mean, I don't like waiting, but,
The one on 8 is future development area, so we should be able to attain that, correct?
they would do that at the same time, build the buildings, the well houses. They still gotta connect well 9 up to, Klein Avenue. There's a stub there. Then they got 600 feet to go into, the treatment plant. And now there's a question of if they can get the pipe. So, but they're working on it. And they said in 2023, both those wells could probably be going.
Any other project updates?
And then there was some, I think they're working on a water main coming out of well 4 and coming up to 41 and going south to 109th. And then the water main that's in front of, would be in front of the core tile that Franciscan owns now. They were gonna do that. I think it goes from the middle of Elsip Nursery and goes south all the way to a valve that's close to the shrine, or close to that. There's a little bridge there. And then they would go up Bailey, up 105th to Bailey, and Bailey out to the field, and then stop and have a stub there. And then they could go from there, they can go further east. When that developer that owns 200 acres wants to tie in, they can do that. So that was on the discussion, so let's see what happens. And you should be getting something relatively soon on the bids, that they put it out for bid.
Any questions, comments, any other things to bring up for projects? All right, then we'll just move into payment of the bills. Let's see here. We have water utility APVs dated January 18th for a total of $342,222.39. Any comments, corrections? Motion to approve.
I'd like to approve the water district packets as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor signify by aye.
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 Motion carried. We also have the docket district APVs for January 18th for a total of $13,975.87. Any corrections or additions or questions? Hearing none, is there a motion?
I'd like to pay the water utility, make a motion, make the water utility dockets as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye, I'm sorry.
Aye, motion carried. Any other things to come before the board? Any public comment? Any questions? Hearing none, I close the floor. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.